Chiang Rai is a city of many colours. You'll find buildings of blue, white, black and even gold. It also might just be one of the best cities in the whole of Thailand for a weekend of fun.
We're only 5 minutes in. I'm already having the time of my life.
But what is actually worth seeing here on your next trip?
Hello and welcome back to another day in Thailand, where you join me from the streets of Chiang Rai, right up in the north of the country. We arrived here last night on the VIP bus from Chiang Mai, which took about 3.5 hours, and now we're here for the next 3 days to explore all of the main sites of this city. And to be honest, I don't really have any expectations. I don't know a whole lot about this place, but what I do know is that it has some very unusual temples, so that sounds like a great place to start.
Our first stop was just a 15-minute taxi ride away from the centre, and on first impressions we found Chiang Rai to be a fairly quiet city compared to Chiang Mai. But despite that more relaxing vibe, you're still never too far away from a little bit of artistic flair. In recent years, this place has become known as a creative hotspot, and it's a city where the streets are literally lined with gold. Even the street lights in the city centre are like museum pieces decorating the roads. But one feature right in the middle really stands out from the rest. The striking clock tower was designed by Chalumchai Kozipipat, a famous local artist who is probably best known for another even more elaborate work on the outskirts of the city, which, whether you're here for a few hours or a few weeks, should be right at the top of your Chiang Rai itinerary.
Well, even if you've only ever done the smallest bit of research into Northern Thailand, chances are you've seen some pictures of this place. This is the incredibly famous White Temple, one of the most surreal and unusual temples in all of Thailand.
Wat Rong Khun was first opened in 1997, and the experience here is equal parts temple and art gallery. The entire grounds are the brainchild of Kozipipat, who bought the original dilapidated temple on this site and rebuilt it based on his own very unique vision. There's a 100 baht entrance fee for foreigners, and the main building is reached by crossing over this nightmarish bridge right in the centre, where you walk over hundreds of screaming faces and outstretched hands meant to symbolise the feeling of unrestrained desire. This middle section and intricately decorated temple is the most recognisable building in the whole of Chiang Rai, but it's far from the only thing to see on this site. There's another bright gold lake-bound temple dedicated to Ganesh. There's some shiny characters dotted around for cool photos, as well as a surrounding garden decorated with a pretty confusing collection of pop culture heads from Terminator to Captain America. And this very elaborate gold-drenched structure is just the toilet. And believe it or not, there's some even more surreal and hilarious traditional buildings in other parts of Chiang Rai that will probably get me demonetized. But before that more R-rated experience, it was time to go from white to green.
Well, the White Temple was absolutely amazing. It is well worth coming to take a look at that if you're up here in Chiang Rai. But now we've come out to somewhere that is very different. Just a few kilometres up the road is this place. This is Singha Park, which is a farm park come amusement park that is so big that you need to rent some wheels to get around. You can rent bicycles, you can rent electric scooters, you can get on a little electric bus that goes all the way around, but I think we've chosen the very best method.
Singha Park covers 12 square kilometres of land, made up of vast fields, lakes and many scenic views. And it was on this very site where one of the most famous Thai beer brands was born. The Singha lager was originally manufactured in Chiang Rai using ingredients grown from this very farmland, and it's now one of the most popular attractions in Chiang Rai for families. So, to get us around the natural sights, we opted for maximum comfort, which just felt right on a manicured green like this.
So, this is how we're going to be getting around for the next 3 hours. It costs 600 baht for 3 hours and then 50 baht entrance fee per person, and it's basically a loop around the whole park to see lots of different sights. Right then, let's go! Oh. Right then, let's go! We're only 5 minutes in. I'm already having the time of my life. You see, I never get to do any of the driving here in Thailand because Emma rides the bike because she has a license. So I'm going to make the most of this. Get some speed going. Emma's terrified.
As you drive along these smooth roads, you'll be constantly stopping for photos at the many different viewpoints, but there's a lot more to see than just that.
So, from what I can gather, this whole place is a little bit of a selfie theme park. So as you drive around the course, there's little stops like this, which is a sort of, I don't know, animal wicker man. And there's other cool things along the way. So let's keep going around and see what we find. You driving?
Yeah.
couldn't keep her out the driver's seat for too long.
Do you know what's really annoying?
Go on.
Is that I'm actually too short for this.
Now, obviously, this place is great for smaller kids and big kids as well, to be honest. But one of the coolest things about it is not really the selfie spots, but it's that you get a real taste of that Chiang Rai nature right here, just outside of the city. So if you're on a short trip and you don't really have time to do an excursion way out into the mountains, then this is a really good option, because it's absolutely beautiful. This is lovely.
Little wasps.
Instagram versus reality. So now we're going to go and blend our own tea, which is an activity included in the entrance fee. And it's a very Chiang Rai thing, tea. There's actually some tea plantations in this park as well, so let's go and see what it's like.
For hundreds of years, the hills of northern Thailand have been known for growing two different things: tea and opium. In fact, the large-scale tea plantations in this area were originally founded to directly replace the production of that more addictive substance. And at Singha Park, you can make your very own tea blend using local produce without paying anything extra.
Just a lovely homemade tea with this great view. I love it here.
So after that relaxing stop, it was time to take things up a gear. This very cute looking Farmville area may look innocent enough, but this is also where you can try some of the more hair-raising activities that Singha Park has to offer.
So we have now parked up at the sports centre. There's a few restaurants here, and there's also a spot where you can grab yourself a Singha beer, obviously. But there's also some more activities here for the bigger kids, especially one that starts at the top of this tower.
After downing some liquid courage in the bar, I made my way up to the very top of the tower to take on the 460-metre long zip line with panoramic views over the whole area.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
It costs an extra 300 baht to have a go at this, and for me, it was worth every penny, even if I did have to wear a hairnet.
Okay! Okay.
We arrived in Chiang Rai on a Friday night, and like I already said, we found the streets to be a little quieter than expected. There is the night bazaar near the bus station, which is a great place to head for in the evenings to find affordable food and drinks. This does run on most nights of the week, but it wasn't exactly busy either. So luckily on weekends, things are very different. Saturday is Walking Street Night, an event that brings both tourists and locals in big numbers towards the centre of the city, where entire roads are blocked off to host the many different stalls. If you ask me, this is a much better weekend market than the equivalent in the centre of Chiang Mai. This one feels much less geared at tourists and more like a genuine local experience. There's places selling clothes, there's live music and dancing, but of course the main focus is the food. It's definitely worth planning your stay in Chiang Rai over a weekend just so you can check this out.
Good morning and welcome back to another day here in Chiang Rai. Yesterday we checked out two of the most popular sites to the south of the city, and today we're going to head north across the River Kok right here to check out two more sites which also have their own coloured theming. So come on, let's go and check them out.
And that wouldn't be the last we'd see that day either. How about that for a teaser? We headed into the city that morning and rented an appropriately coloured bike for our first stop of the day.
So we've driven up to the north of the city to an area called Rim Kok, which is home to this place, the Blue Temple, one of the newest temples in Chiang Rai.
And it definitely lives up to its name. From the entrance statues to the fountains to the main temple building itself, this place is blue all over. Wat Rong Suea Ten also replaced an abandoned temple on this site in 2016. And this was probably the most incredible interior of any temple in this whole city. It's also still under construction, so expect to see even more blue buildings here in the coming years. And just 15 minutes further north is a much more famous and much darker site, which has been one of the most surreal attractions in Chiang Rai since 1975.
So we've now gone from blue to black. Now, a lot of tourists call this place the Black Temple, but it's actually a modern art museum, and some of the pieces here are a little bit not suitable for work.
The Baan Dam Museum is yet another hybrid experience, made up of around 40 dark buildings in a peaceful garden. This is part art studio, part museum, part artist's home. It's so far so traditional from the outside, but inside is a whole different story. There's an 80 baht entrance fee for foreigners, and within that exterior you'll find the works of Tawan Duchani, a famous national artist of Thailand who was born in Chiang Rai in 1939. And this is a man with a very distinct, often controversial style. His museum here is an experience unlike any art gallery you've probably ever seen, showcasing a mixture of traditional work and very modern twists, as well as some other pieces that look, well, pretty happy to see you.
Definitely getting demonetized for this.
There is something unexpected around every corner of this place, from animal skins to sculptures, to strange spaceship-looking structures, and stalls selling black ice cream. The Black House might not be for everyone, but I think it's well worth a visit. Next time we head a little further off the beaten path, in search of Thailand's incredible temple in the sky.